Hey everyone, welcome to the depot. My name is Brad and today I am back with another house building video, and as you can see I am still in Windenburg because I refuse to leave. My bad. And I just want to give a heads up that this video might sound a bit weird, or if I don't speak as quickly or can't say certain words, well, that's just because my mouth has decided, like, my root canal's like failed and I'm like halfway through it, so I'm kind of confused at what happens next. And I don't want to make this into a dentistry video, but just like I said, heads up that I sound a bit silly and I kind of hate myself because this video took me like, I don't know how many days to kind of get it ready. And that's just because, like I say, traditional is not my kind of build style. So it takes a bit longer for me when I do try and build a traditional house to actually build it and decide on things that I like. And there's a few bits and rooms that might not be like completely traditional or anything. But I hope you can forgive me maybe for the little, like, the digression. I don't know what the word is. So I'm just not going to use it. And I probably couldn't even say it anyway because my jaw is the size of the moon. Yeah. So the house is actually 4 bedrooms and 1 ensuite and then 1 bathroom. Actually, no, 3 bathrooms as well. There we go. 2 ensuites and then 1 main bathroom. But you could turn the second ensuite into the main bathroom and then turn the main bathroom into the 5th bedroom if you wanted to have a 5-bedroom house, because yeah. And it's kind of weird that this turned out bigger than, like, more bedrooms than my last build, even though my last build is technically bigger and more expensive. So yes, once again, this one also comes in at the 110,000 simoleons mark. That's kind of my fault, just because obviously I never really, I mean, I check halfway through, like, you know, usually, like, oh, I built the house now and there's the money. Not too cheap, not too expensive or anything. But, like, when I finish it, it's just, like, when you go through rooms, you don't really, when you cluttering up, you don't really worry about what things cost. And surprisingly, a lot of the clutter items are very, very expensive when you really look at them. And you're like, whoa, I've put, like, 3 of them in one room before and they're, like, 70 quid each. Like, that's a lot. Anyway, you guys may be wondering why I decided to call this Rustic Residence. And that's purely because that's what this plot is, this lot is actually called or named, and I kind of figured that it fit the build this build perfectly. Not perfectly, but like it made it so nice. And this is kind of like a lot of houses that try and do like a traditional feel in the UK. They do go for like a brown fascia and a brown guttering. I don't know what you could like. The eaves of the roof. They're called eaves in The Sims, but like I think people call them, I don't know. Yeah, it's brown and and then like a natural stone with a cream render at the back, because I figured maybe this house had been extended a little bit, but while also in keeping like traditional vibes. Like when I get onto the kitchen, which is honestly my favorite room in the house, and I'm surprised at how much I like it because it's nothing that I would have honestly picked. It's just, it kind of worked out this way by me, like, you know, planning it out in a way. I didn't plan it at all. It just sort of like flowed that way. Anyway, this little, this might be like bifold doors here, but I wasn't sure if like it looked better as 2 doors or a whole piece, but I landed on a whole piece because I figured maybe that could be like the modern-ish part of the, like the living room maybe, like the up-to-date part of the house. Like even though the whole house is like, you know, fully, I like it. I just not, my traditional's not my thing, but the master suite's kind of modern, the back living room's kind of modern, and that's about it. Yeah. I think so. Oh, and the second ensuite and the master ensuite. But other than that, everything else is traditional. Promise. So yeah, these doors, I do love these doors, I gotta be honest. But the only issue I have with them is that in a lot of, they look nice because they're over 2 and they look more real, as in like, because obviously we don't have doors shoved into corners and stuff over 1 square in real life. So it's quite nice. But at the same time, they can be a bit annoying because they offset quite a lot and they don't usually match up well. But yeah, so more use of skirting in this house as well, because obviously traditional, and I really like skirting. I used to use it all the time in The Sims 4 and Sims 3, and in The Sims 4 I've kind of not used it because it's easier to, there's literally about, I don't know, like 4 maybe, like with skirting that I actually like and would put in a house. So yeah, that's why I don't really use skirting, because there's so many more options without it, and I've never actually been to a house that didn't have skirting, like ever. Maybe an art gallery or 2, like I said before, but I've never been with one without. But so it's kind of difficult for me to build that in The Sims 4, but I don't really mind, or I haven't mind. But now that I have built 2 houses with skirting, I'm kind of nervous to go back to houses without. And what really bugs me about the Parenthood fridge is just the fact that, like, why does it stick out so much? Like, really all fridges stick out in The Sims 4, and it's really, really annoying me because, of course, why do they not know that the majority of people now have like a built-in fridges? Like, not built-in, but like you know, look a bit more like they're meant to be there. Like, my nan has, like, a fridge that's just freestanding there, and it's like, well, you know, it's my nan. I love her, and she's old. Sorry. Why am I talking about the list? It's just kind of easier on my mouth, maybe. I kind of really haven't talked about this kitchen at all. I've just been going on about things that annoy me, about the things I've put in the kitchen. So, yes. Here we have a blue and a yellow kitchen. I know that kind of sounds kind of gross and everything, but I kind of like how it turned out. And basically, this is the kind of the most rustic room in this rustic residence. I mean, you could count the main bathroom because it has a similar color scheme and also uses the same units. But yeah, I really like it. Like, it's not a kitchen, like I said, that I would have ever picked or anything, but I don't know, it's really family and really homey. Like, I have a friend whose house has kind of got this kind of a kitchen, and like every time I go there I'm always like, I don't know, it's just really, really, really farmhousey feel. Like, I like it. I don't know what it is. I never pick it, like I say, but I can appreciate it at the same time. Hopefully your Sims like it, because it took me a while to work out, you know, the units above the kitchen, the sink part, and then the fridge part, because obviously they are separate from the, like, stove cooking station. Like, I wanted, like, a hearth in a way there. So I kind of took that from my executive mansion build and repeated it here. And then a central table with, like, bright yellow, like, chairs. Because I don't know, I just figured that there was yellow in the, like, plates that are in the cabinet. So I brought it in the chairs and the walls. And I really, really like how it turned out. I'm kind of really proud, because I don't really do that kind of a kitchen, and I really was, like, really quite nervous, and it took me a very long time to work it out, so yeah. Then here we have, the back living room, which is not, like, an entertainment one. There's no TV in here. It's actually just, like a drawing room. I said I'd get to, like, learn that and totally use it more in my videos, but I keep forgetting. So a drawing room. I don't think people really, that's not a thing. It is a thing. Stop it. Sorry. But yeah, so this one's kind of, like I said, in, like, a formal one. So it's just a seating area in front of a fireplace that goes out onto the back terrace. And then there is also a piano I put at the back, and a easel, which with a little bit of, like, work around it. And I do use the canvases, which I've never used before in a house, I don't think. Nope, because of course they're like 3,000 simoleons, and I was like, that's a hell of a heft up of the price. So if you don't like the price of the house, maybe you could delete those, and it'll save you kind of, like, I don't know, like 2 months mortgage if we paid mortgages in The Sims 4. Now that would be a good idea if, like, mortgages were a thing as opposed to just bills. I mean, it would complicate it a bit, but it would be quite cool, because, like, you know, you could pay monthly or daily or whenever the bills came in. I don't know. And then just, like, a triple pick kit, which I was kind of hoping the mirror thing. Like, I find it so much easier to do, like, triple mirrors, because, of course, they stay at the same height, whereas pictures can go up, down, left, right, corners, diagonals, you know? And it's, like, to get 3 in a row at the same level, you're like, oh my god, no! But yeah. So I kind of really like how the fireplace has the 2 doors either side of it. I mean, when I originally planned the house, I was a bit like, okay, so is this going to work out, or is it going to come back to, like, bite me later? Just because, like, when you have those doors, they take up 2 tiles, so it kind of makes houses have to be double the size if you planned it in a different way to take, like, single doors, so it can be a bit of a problem. But they worked out, so thank you. I've already mentioned this, but I'm just very proud of them, so they deserve extra praise. So yeah, moving on to the, like, I guess this should have been the formal lounge when you really think about it, but, like, nope. I decided to keep this one as the, like, entertainment one in a way. It's not really entertainment. It's just, like, it's got a TV and a little bit of a bar, which doesn't have stools. Just, like, a cabinet off with alcohol on for people who have sad days. Well, I'm not encouraging that. Oh my god, no. Like, you shouldn't drink alcohol if you're sad. I'm just trying to be funny, but it's failing miserably. Sorry. So anyway, yeah, so this has kind of got a traditional feel. I do realise, as I said that as well, that I'm putting in a modern rug, and that's kind of silly. But we'll just ignore that fact for a little bit. And it was kind of weird to work it out, because I don't usually use a cream at all when it comes to, like, traditional rooms. It's kind of hard for me to go with, like, the neutrals, because I don't know, I use neutrals more in a modern, even though it's fun to add colour to a modern one, because I don't know, it's easier for me to do modern builds, and I've mentioned this before, but what else? So I'm just going to focus on this room. So here we go with the bar area, and of course I think you can see why I didn't put stools in, purely because there'd be no room, and the like, I wanted, like, that obvious, like, conference kind of feel with the, like, the sofas around the fireplace and the kitchen and the coffee table. So it kind of took up most of the room, and because it's on a diagonal thing, again, I decided to reuse that from my executive mega mansion, and because I liked it so much, but it kind of offset the room a little bit and made it a bit more difficult, so I couldn't have stools here, not that I probably would have anyway. So it's just like a nook for things, and I messed around here for way too long trying to figure out how to get that little bottle in, and it just was not working, so I gave up. Yeah, there is a little, I'm not sure, I've never used this little, what's it called? That thing. What is that? Does it have alcohol in it as well? Because I've seen one on TV of someone, like Alan Carr, I think, had one of them on his show. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. And then an assortment of pictures because I couldn't get another one there to like look right, so I thought maybe let's just do like an assortment of little pics, like traditional-ish ones, because I personally think that there's not a lot of traditional artwork, because a lot of the ones that are very, very expensive or very cheap and small. So it's like, great, so I can either spend £200 on a picture, sorry, 200 simoleons, or like 3,500. And this is a tiny pic too. Sorry, I wanted to finish my point, my bad. Moving on to the study here in the front of the house. I wanted this to also have a bay-ish window, but unfortunately, if you do a bay window with less than 2, I think, in the middle, it kind of basically just doesn't work because you can't do like an octagonal roof, and I do not like to do a bay window now that I know that I can do an octagonal roof. So, it's got that little wall above it. But anyway, onto the, I'm already on it, and I've been talking about it, so I don't know why I was going to make out that onto the study or whatever, but like, onto what I'm actually putting into the study. I wanted it to I thought it would be big enough to have, like I said, a conference kind of a feel. Like I wanted it in the living room, and I thought maybe let's have it in here because they're opposite each other, and it just looks more professional in the study environment, I think. But it just didn't work out. So I put the little chairs over here next to the bookcases to look like it was like kind of a library of sorts. Then like vacation holiday photos over here. And then just a little bamboo plant in the corner. And that's pretty much all there is to this room. It's really quite simple, then obviously I haven't cut up the what's it called, desk yet, but that's obviously coming. Here it is. Not too much going on, just like a little like whatever those postcards, I don't know, what are the business cards, yeah, and people like write their numbers on, and they're like, I mean, everyone's got phones now, and that hasn't been a thing since like, I don't know, Ugly Betty finished, but yeah. So now on to the main, the hallway, the hallway. I was just thinking, I was going to say landing, but that's upstairs. Anyway, so I went for a blue and a white in here, and I obviously mimicked the floor from the study because I figured they're archways and it could look quite nice to go through. I'm not sure, but I used the navy blue. I just think I just mentioned that. My brain's not working. But I really like the colour, this blue specifically, and I'm quite proud because when we got to the landing, I actually found the matching wall paint, yeah, there we go, with the same shade of blue, which was quite cool because I haven't found that in The Sims 4 yet. Like, I thought it was exclusive to The Sims 3 because you could, create a style, but we'll just leave that there. I put the family board here purely because I was like, there's nowhere to put it in the kitchen, and then what other room was I going to put it in? It would have ruined any other room, so I put it in the hallway because it made sense to me. And then obviously the downstairs toilet is like little stashed away in the corner because, I don't know, if you have guests or whatever. I don't know. Like, it's just nice to have a toilet stuffed away and not in front of everyone, Because who wants to go to the bathroom when everyone's like that? Anyway, so I went for like a light blue with a cabinet. It's kind of similar to my last build video's downstairs toilet, but on a bigger scale. So, yeah, and I kind of prefer it because obviously when you've got like a slightly bigger toilet, either way, you can do a lot more with it. And I know this is quite underdressed or anything with a lot of stuff, but I don't know. It was just I could do more with it than the last one, so I was kind of happy. And it's like subdued lighting as well as the hallway as well. Just to mention, I don't want you to think like he hasn't put a main light in. It's meant to be kind of dark in there, like because the upstairs was meant to bring it in, but unfortunately it didn't because of course this is not a galleried landing by any means. As hard as I tried, I think I extend it in a second now because I do. Just because it was like, okay, this isn't working. And I finally figured out how to get like a trim around a staircase. You have to do like a galleried landing. You can't just shove it in. I don't know what I'm talking about. Sorry. But here we go with the matching one. See, look at that. I know it's got no skirting just off the sides, but it just cut off and it looked awful. So I figured, right, let's have no skirting there and just make out that the navy went all the way up the wall, which it would have done anyway. And I'm quite chuffed because I haven't been able to do that in The Sims 4 yet. And hopefully it's the beginning of something, I don't know. And then obviously mimicking the wood upstairs, and it's kind of the first time I've used a hardwood on the upstairs landing, and that's just because I use a lot of carpet in the bedrooms. There is only wood in one of the rooms, and I didn't want to overdo or overuse carpet, considering I also used it in the downstairs lounge as a change. I'm sorry. I'm talking about the lounge again, and we've passed it, like, completely. So as you can see here, this is probably, hopefully you can tell, is the master bedroom. I wanted to try something a bit different by using a different bed that I haven't used before, but honestly, I probably will shy away from this bed because it was just, I like it, don't get me wrong, but I'm not, actually, it's not the bed, it's just this room specifically. It was a bit awkward, and my eyes weren't liking how the room looked, but at the same time they did, so it's a bit weird. And of course, bringing in the grey with a picture above the bed. I don't know why. We're on clutter now, and I'm like, of course, bringing in the picture. It's like we've already done that, but I'm just chuffed that that picture came in like a neutral tone, of course, and it went on like the feature wall, so I'm quite happy with that. And then fitted wardrobes because I figured, like, you know, it's the master bedroom, at least try and give it some form of a walk-in wardrobe, even though they're directly opposite the bed, so that's not a walk-in wardrobe at all. And then fairy lights, because I don't know, I wanted to dress up above the, what are they called? The fitted wardrobes. I was just talking about them. Oh my god. But I didn't know what to put there without making it seem young or non-master bedroomy. So I put fairy lights, which, as I realise, I say that are quite young, but they're pretty, so we're gonna let it slide. So yeah, the master ensuite, is that even a thing? Just the ensuite to the master bedroom. It's the first time I've used the, like, outdoor, those cabinets, which are technically outdoors, but I really, really, really like them. Like I said, it's like a textured top, so it feels like a granite, maybe. More so a marble, really, maybe. I don't know. I've never really had marble anything. I mean, granite is the only worktop that I've literally... Never mind. What am I talking about? So yeah, this is the first time I've used the corner bath, because I always wondered to myself, like, where am I going to put that realistically? But, of course, as with everything, I think, in The Sims 4, eventually you build that house where certain items look perfect and you're like, wow, so that's where I should put it. But not gonna lie, I did struggle here when I was like, what am I gonna put above the bath, because it's in the corner, and I'm really happy with what I landed on. I mean, I've used this like twice now, so it's not new by any means, but I haven't used it like mimicked on different corners in the way that this is. It's only been behind a bath on a single wall. So yeah, I think it's quite cool. It really finished it off, if you will. I tried to put like a dangly light there, but it was just the wrong colour. There was a brown in it, and I was like, no, this is a blue and white ensuite, but only a subtle blue. And then a little rug, because you do not want to die when you get out the bath. Well, I mean, that was a bit morbid. Hurt yourself. That was still not too nice, but whatever. And as you can probably see here by the colour scheme from the kitchen, this is the main bathroom that I was talking about, and I really like how it turned out, purely because I like the kitchen, so of course I'm going to like this one as well. But yeah, it's I don't know why I put dual sinks in here when I think about it, because it's a main bathroom, not an ensuite to the master, but at the same time, if you've got multiple kids, it can be nice and a bit time savory if you like brush your teeth at the same time or whatever, or, you know, don't argue over who's hogging the sink. So yeah. And then obviously cluttering up the sides of it, because it's a main bathroom, it needs to have some form of something, and I wanted to use this bath instead of the more expensive one, because obviously it cuts down the price of the house, and because the back of it raises slightly more, and in this specific aesthetic of a house, I preferred that over like a lower back of a bath. Even though they were both clawfoot, it's just, I thought that one looked a bit more, which is kind of funny. I was going to say grander and whatever, but it's actually cheaper, so it's like, what? But anything in life, no matter what the price, some expensive things can look super cheap, and some cheap things can look nice and expensive. It's just how you shop, not what you shop with. I don't know. I'm trying to be like, I don't know, quotey or whatever, but it's really not working. I'm just not one of those humans that's like inspirational. Not that I'm trying to be or could be, but whatever. What a weird subject I'm talking about. Genuinely, I need help. Anyway, moving on to the teenager's bedroom. I know I've just like spitballed here. Like, it might not be a teenager for you, but I just kind of got that vibe from it. Well, vibe. I wanted to do a teenager's room, obviously, because it's fun to do. I like to give different stages of life in The Sims. If you've got a 4-bedroom house, you can do like the master bedroom for the adults, then you can do like an elderly room, a toddler room, a nursery. You can do a teenager's room, a child's room. It's like, you know, go wild. But yeah, I don't know. I kind of went for like a rebel-ish feel, and then the little coffee bar there, I thought it was cute because it's like, some people need coffee to wake up, and it's, you know, it's on the bedside, so I don't know. And I know this is not the grey one, it's a white wood, but I just thought it looked better because it brought in the wood from the skirting, the doors, and the windows a bit more than, I don't know, anything else really could. So I thought I'd keep with that instead of the grey. And then I know that's just a paper wall, but I like it. I like the little green PJC above it. It just brings in another colour. Also love how I just said another color, even though I've got green literally coming from that alien spaceship in the, what's it called? The skateboards. So yeah. Here we have the second ensuite to the house, and I kind of wanted to follow the theme of the bedroom with that. And okay, never mind, I guess we've changed the light in the master bedroom for the moment. Anyway, back to the ensuite that I was talking about. Thank you for filming this stupidly for myself. Sorry. So yeah, I wanted to continue a grey in here, but unfortunately that was not going to happen because obviously I overuse grey in bathrooms way too much in all my build videos. So I just went for a white, a pretty simple. I wanted it obviously a traditional house, so like it kind of made sense to keep it like a white and do like the like railroad Amsterdam. I call them Amsterdam tiles because a lot of bathrooms when I went to Amsterdam kind of looked like this with this kind of a tile. So yeah, it's my version of saying a railway tile. So excuse me, but yeah, this is the technically a nursery, but I personally would just call it a toddler room because it's not like fitted for like a baby and a toddler, which I think that's a nursery. I mean, I call that a nursery, and I've done that in like 4 videos, so I really hope it's right. But this room basically follows the trend of like, not trend, the theme, because I don't think there's a trend, of just like blue, greys, and blacks. And I know you might be thinking, why did you choose a black for a child's room? And it's like, it does work out. It's just the furniture comes in a black, and I thought like, okay, hang on here, that's like my fave color, like, that's depressing, but it is. So actually red's my favorite color, but black in terms of clothing and like furniture and everything else, but in terms of color, like why am I talking about my favorite color? Oh my god. But yeah, so it was a bit weird to incorporate black in a child's room because it is such a dark color, but it worked out because it's very, very minimal, and most of the black is in furniture, and the only like wall part is the little strip in the middle of this Parenthood wall paint, which I haven't used yet, so I was quite happy with that. Also obviously painting up, postering up, putting, what are they called? Paint? They're not pictures because they're like transfers. Textiles? No. I have no idea. It begins with a T, I'm pretty sure. It's just blanking in my brain right now. Templates, I think. Maybe. I don't know. I might be wrong, but sorry. And then kind of offset rugs, because I was like, I don't know, that made sense to me. And I've already gone off on another tangent, and as a result, I've kind of finished the route. Oh, no, I left the light. Obviously, it's me. I always forget. It's really starting to bug me, so I can't imagine people watching these must be like, is he seriously forgetting all his like lights in rooms all the time? But yes, I am. So anyway, moving on to the last bedroom, if you want it to remain a 4-bedroom house, I guess, is the guest room. There's nothing it's not planned for like a person or anything. Like, most of my guest rooms could be used for like grandparents. I like always say that technically, especially this one, because it is a very rustic feel, which kind of makes sense considering I kept the name of the house, like I said in the beginning, and it's kind of not, aside from the kitchen and the main bathroom, and maybe a few other rooms, there's not too much rustic-y bedrooms, but this one kind of is, so I didn't lie, and that's the main important thing in life, is that you don't lie. And there's a few other things, but yeah, I'm not giving you a life lesson today because you'll probably leave. This is about a house. Sorry. So yeah, it's nothing fancy or anything. There's nothing too expensive in here because obviously the house was already coming to, I think it comes at 110,000. I probably already said this in the beginning of the video, but knowing me, it was wrong. And considering I've already checked, like, this is multiple days of work for me. So that sounds so sad because it's not that good. Not multiple days, but like, you know, I have to space it out because, you know, your brain doesn't work when you're trying to be like, furnishing houses. Sometimes it's just like runs dry in your head, so it took a little bit longer this time, plus like I mentioned, my tooth. So yeah, that's great. Love my life right now, currently cannot get better, love it. So yeah, moving on to the outside, which has a planter and a small sitting area because there's not room for much else. So I just want to take this moment to say a major thank you to anyone who's watched the video. If you would like to download the house, it will be on the gallery under my name, The Sim Depot. And yeah, if you've enjoyed the video, maybe give it a like and possibly, maybe, hopefully subscribe to the channel. And yeah, hope you've enjoyed the final footage, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.